After getting 1.2 billion views for my business in the last 12 months, these are the 3 rules I discovered about going viral. And I guarantee they're going to help you go viral too. And as a cool little side note, these 3 rules have helped me build a multiple 6-figure business using YouTube alone. So if that interests you at all, you're definitely in the right place. But first, I must give you a warning. These rules will never work if you never implement them. So I want you to promise me right now that after watching this video, you'll take these 3 rules and start using them to go viral, to grow your business, and to help you succeed. Because that truly is the only way I can help you, is if you actually implement the things I'm going to share with you today. Rule number 1 is without a viral idea, you are wasting your time and you won't go viral. The truth is, most businesses spend about 20% of their time coming up with viral ideas and the other 80% actually filming, editing, and implementing those crappy ideas. The sooner you flip that percentage around and spend 80% of your time coming up with viral ideas, the other 20%, which is actually implementing those ideas, is going to be much easier and sets you up to actually go super viral. But how do you come up with viral ideas, you might be asking? Well, you're in luck because I'm going to show you exactly how I do that. And it's actually quite easy. The thing is, 99% of businesses and creators don't do it, which makes it super uncommon. But you're actually watching this video, so I know you want to go viral, so I know you're going to actually do it. Here we go. So step number 1 is you're going to create a list of 5 businesses or creators that are in your specific niche that are currently going viral on a monthly basis. Then step number 2 is you're going to go to an adjacent niche and create another list of 5 creators or businesses in that adjacent niche that are also going viral on a monthly basis. Now, if you're confused about adjacent niches, just to give you an example, let's say your main niche is fitness and workouts. An adjacent niche would be nutrition. And if you need help, simply go to ChatGPT, say, this is my niche. What are 5 adjacent niches that I can get content ideas from? It'll spit a couple out, just pick one. Now, step number 3 is you're gonna look back on the last 3 months of content, specifically shorts in this case, that these creators or businesses have put out. And you're gonna make a list of the top 5 to 10 most viewed videos over the last 3 months. I like to do this on a simple Google Sheets. It helps me kind of keep everything organized, but you can do it wherever you want. You can even handwrite it if you want. After you have this compiled list, you should have anywhere from 50 to 100 content ideas based off of the 5 creators or businesses in your niche and the 5 to 10 creators or businesses in an adjacent niche. And then what I want you to do with step number 4 is I want you to start looking at commonalities between all of the different types of content. Are there similar formats? Are there similar topics? Really start seeing the connection between all of these viral videos. And then step 5, you're going to take the 3 to 5 commonalities between all of these videos, and you're going to plan your next 3 to 5 videos. But it's really important that you put your own spin or twist on the formatting or the theme or the ideas that you come up with doing this method. There is a very common viral strategy that people put out there that says just copy what other people are doing and you'll have success. While you might have short-term success, the biggest problem with this methodology is you're not learning the actual tactics and what it takes to go viral on a consistent basis. You may have one viral hit, but then you're going to have a ton of flops. I want you to truly understand and learn how to go viral so you can do it consistently. And the most important thing you need to remember is your ideal customers, the people that are going to end up buying from you, they want to connect with a human. We're in the age of AI, and yes, AI has a ton of use cases, and it's super helpful, but people want to connect with people. They want to know who they're buying from, and they want to connect. The more of you that you give people, you're going to be able to stand out in this sea of AI, and you're going to really be able to create a value proposition that's going to make the people wanting to watch your video want to eventually do business with you. There are a handful of ways that I could go deeper on how to come up with more viral ideas. We don't have the time for that today, but this is the easiest and the method I always say everyone should start with. So go ahead and do that after this video, and we're going to move on to rule number 2 that I've learned, which is the first 3 to 5 seconds of your video is mission critical. In all honesty, you should spend at least 80% of your time planning the first 3 to 5 seconds of your video. Now, one of the biggest complaints I get is I don't want to script my video. I'm telling you right now, it's very hard to create a powerful hook, which is the first 3 to 5 seconds of your video, if you don't script it. You need to know what you're saying, what you're showing, and what's happening on screen to set up the rest of your video. If you don't wow your prospective viewer, they're going to swipe away and keep looking at other videos and not watch yours. You need to grab them. You need to make them feel something they've never felt before. Make them stop in their tracks and have to watch your video. But the biggest question is how. Easiest way to do this in the first 3 to 5 seconds is what's called the curiosity gap. Everyone knows everything until they don't. Let me explain. Your ideal customer or avatar is sitting there scrolling through their phone with all of these preconceived biases from their life experiences, from things that have happened to them. They think they know, again, until they don't. And that's where you come in and your video comes in. They're sitting there scrolling like a zombie, looking at video after video after video. Boring. Yeah, it's okay now, boring. And then they see your video. Once they see your video in the first 3 to 5 seconds, you challenge a belief or a preconceived bias that they have that now opens this curiosity gap and makes them stop from scrolling. And once you open that gap of understanding, they no longer have this massive void in their brain, and they're going to have to stay and watch your video because they want to close that gap, because humans hate not knowing. Here's a perfect example. Let's say you're in the woodworking niche and you sell woodworking plans, or let's say you sell table saw blades. So imagine a guy in his 40s sitting on the couch after a long day of work, just scrolling through his phone, looking at video after video after video, and then he sees this.
What happens if you put your hand in a table saw? But since I don't want to use my real hand, I'm going to use this ballistic one that has bones and meat and super...
The hook is what happens if you put your hand on a table saw. Now, I want you to think the viewer, right? They're creating content for people that love woodworking. What have they been taught since they were 2 years old or 5 years old or whenever they started woodworking? Don't put your hand near the table saw. Common sense is it'll literally chop off your hand. But the human brain, since we know it's bad and it's dangerous, I now see a video that they're going to actually test what happens if you do that. It now opens this gap of curiosity of like, well, wait, what actually happens if your hand hits the blade? He's now curious and he has to watch the video to close the gap of curiosity and know what actually happens if your hand hits the blade. Even crazier is this video is actually showcasing a table saw blade that is supposed to stop when it touches or senses the human flesh. And that video ended up getting 77 something million views. How many blades do you think this video sold? I bet a ton. But all because it created a curiosity gap. It knew, and the product helped in this case, but it knew what their ideal viewer or customer, all of the preconceived belief systems that they had, and they knew how to attack that belief system to open that curiosity gap and create a ton of interest in watching until the end. So make sure when you're creating your videos, you fully understand who your customer is, who you're trying to connect with, so you can know what their understanding, their belief systems are, and you can present them with a different belief system or challenge a belief that makes them open up that curiosity gap and want to see more. And that leads perfectly into rule number 3, which is you have to give your viewer a reason to watch until the end. It's important to note that social media platforms want one thing. They want their users to stay on their platform as long as possible. And the only way the algorithm can get users to stay on their platform is if it provides high-value content. What is high-value content? High-value content is when they see viewers stopping the scroll, starting to watch a video, and they watch it until the end. Watch time, or the length of your video the average person watches, is a massive indicator to these algorithms if your video is valuable or not to the audience you're trying to connect with. So simply put, if there's no clear outcome in your video, viewers aren't going to stay until the end, which is going to greatly hurt your watch time, which is going to hurt the algorithm wanting to push your video, which means you won't go viral. But the cool thing is, if you can hook them in those first 3 to 5 seconds and perfectly lay out exactly what's in it for them and the outcome they're going to get by sticking around and watching your video, you're going to go mega viral. And to do that, you should always focus on one of these 3 emotional triggers in every one of your video. Never create a video that doesn't have at least one of these 3 triggers. Emotional trigger number 1 is the unknown, what will happen. Emotional trigger number 2 is competition. who or what will win. And emotional trigger number 3 is progression, viral progression, or what's coming next. So let's break down these 3 emotional triggers so you better understand them so you can implement them in your videos. What will happen next is an extremely powerful emotional trigger. As a kid, how many kids, when they turn off the light, they have to run up the stairs because they're afraid of the dark? Why are they afraid of the dark? Because they don't want to know what will happen. What will happen in the dark? From early on, we've decided that as human beings, we're afraid, we have fear of, we're interested in what will happen, the anticipation of something. So if you open up that loop in the beginning of your video and make people want to stay because they need to know what will happen, you're going to greatly increase your watch time and have a much better chance of going viral. Emotional trigger number 2 is who or what will win. This again is super powerful because human beings have been competitive by nature since the beginning of time. So when you can play on the competitiveness in your video and it gives people a really clear reason why to stay and watch until the end. They want to stay and watch who or what will win as you progress through the video. And if the outcome of who wins is at the end of your video, it's going to increase your watch time and help you go viral. And then emotional trigger number 3, progression or what's next. And this works because as humans, we want to see level 1, level 2, level 3. We want to see easy, hard, impossible. We love progression. First grade to second grade to third grade. We want to see 1-star, 3-star, 5-star, what the differences between the 3 are. So in your video, if you can create viral progression, I think this is the easiest way to go viral. For example, in this video that I created here that got 150 million views, I simply did an easy, hard, impossible challenge in my niche. So listen, I believe growing a YouTube channel is by far the single best thing small businesses can do to grow their business. It's how I went from paying Meta and other platforms to acquire customers and it costing me money to literally being paid money to acquire customers. I'm hoping this video helped you learn a few things about going viral. If it did, I would love if you subscribe to the channel to learn more tips on how I'm going viral for my business. And I'd love for you to ask if you have any questions, feel free to comment in the comments. And most importantly, I want to know after you implement these things, how they help you go viral. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.